Hey guys, this is Josh F151 Tech back with another video. And in this video, I actually want to talk about a warning. I want to actually give you guys a warning about using third-party cellular gateways for your T-Mobile 5G home internet, or any 5G home internet or 4G home internet, whether it be T-Mobile, Metro by T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, any of the 4G or 5G home internets, basically. So basically, what I want to talk about is actually the third-party gateways and the stock, T-Mobile 5G home internet gateways in my case. So I actually have, I never actually had the first gateway here. As you guys can see, I actually have 4 gateways here in a picture. I actually only had this one right here, which I just tapped on, that one, and the white one. I never actually had the trash can, as they call it, which is the first one over there. But I actually did have all 3 of the ones after that. But what I want to actually stress about in this video is you can't actually return one of these gateways if you actually bought a third-party gateway, and I'm going to tell you why. So if you return that gateway, your IMEI number, after you buy a third-party gateway, you're going to have to spoof that IMEI number or revise that IMEI number with that gateway, that you actually have, like the stock T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway. So basically, long story short, you're going to have to keep that gateway, even if they charge you for it. So basically, if you use a third-party gateway like myself, I use a Chester Cheetah version 2 gateway/modem. So basically, what I'm trying to stress is, if you would actually sell that gateway, or you would get rid of that gateway, if you would give the gateway back to T-Mobile like you're actually supposed to do, basically what would happen is your IMEI number would basically be blacklisted. You would be using it, you would still be using it in your third-party gateway, that got revised. Basically the IMEI number from these gateways, from either of these gateways, any of these gateways, is revised after you start using it in the third-party gateway. You basically have to revise the IMEI number, or spoof the IMEI number, in your third-party gateway to make it look like you're actually using a gateway from T-Mobile. So, basically what I'm saying is you have to keep that gateway. You can't get rid of it, after you have a third-party gateway. You can't get rid of it. Basically what I'm saying is you can't, give it back to T-Mobile, even if they charge you for it, because your IMEI number, is dependent, on that gateway in your third-party, gateway. It's basically using the same, IMEI number of one of these gateways, but it's revised in the third-party gateway, to make it look like you're actually still using the stock gateway, is basically what I'm saying. So, long story short, you can't get rid of these gateways. You can't get rid of, whatever gateway you have, whether it be a stock T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway, a stock, Verizon home internet gateway, a stock AT&T home internet gateway. If you're using a third-party gateway, you cannot get rid of these gateways. That's just, as simple as it is. As simple as that. Because the IMEI, in these gateways are going to be useless, once you, revise or spoof the IMEI, from one of these gateways into your, Chester Cheetah version 2, gateway/modem, or other, third-party gateway/modem, whatever, other brand you have or whatever. So, I wanted to, clear the air on this. I wanted to make a video specifically on this, and actually talk about it, because this is definitely important. So you can't get rid of the gateway, even though it's, basically, going to be just sitting around, you can't get rid of it, because if you get rid of it, somebody else is going to try to use it and they're not going to be able to use it, or somebody else is going to get a hold of it, like say you send it back to T-Mobile, and then, they try to send it to another customer, they're not going to be able to use it, either that, or they're going to actually kick you off of your third-party gateway, in order to get that gateway working again, or, if you sell it, which actually I thought about doing, because I thought to myself, well, I don't really need this anymore, so maybe I can sell it. So you can't sell it either, so you have to end up keeping it, because it's going to mess up your whole operation, if you give it back to T-Mobile, or if you sell it. But if you don't have a third party gateway, yeah, you can, give it back to T-Mobile, that would be the best thing to do, so they don't charge, $100, some dollars or whatever, for, not returning their equipment. But, I wouldn't really recommend selling it, even if you don't have a third-party gateway. I would just recommend giving it back to them, that way you don't get charged for the equipment. But, if you have a third-party gateway, unfortunately, you're most likely going to have to pay that $100 and some dollars, if you don't return it, because obviously you can't return it, if you have a third-party gateway, because it's going to mess up your whole operation. So that's, about the only downside, to having a third-party gateway, is that you have to keep this in mind, that you can't get rid of, your stock T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway, once you get a third-party one, or your stock Verizon gateway, or your stock AT&T gateway, no matter what, gateway it is, no matter what, service it is, T-Mobile, Verizon, Metro, whatever your, cellular home internet is, AT&T, whatever it is, you can't get rid of that gateway, so just trust me on that, that if you do, it's going to ruin your whole operation, you're not going to be able to, get, your internet, it's just going to mess up your whole, operation using a third-party gateway. So, like I said, I learned about this online, actually, because I was actually talking to the Chester Tech Repairs guy, and I asked him, I said, well, can I get rid of this gateway? Can I sell it? The T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway, which actually I have right now is the white one. I actually still do have the other two that I didn't return, and they haven't actually been bugging me, about returning them. So, I guess they don't really care, so anyway, long story short, I talked to the Chester Tech Repair guy, where I got the Chester, Cheetah version 2 gateway / modem from, and he told me, oh no, you can't sell that gateway. He said, because you basically, revised the IMEI from that gateway, or spoofed it, in order to actually use it, actually think, make T-Mobile think that you're actually still using their gateway, so he said if they contact you, about returning it, he said don't return it, and definitely don't sell it. He says, just pay the, the price that they want for it, if it's $100 or something like that, he said just pay it. Luckily they haven't bothered me about it, about returning it or anything, but, if they do that, like if you're short on money or something, or you can't afford it, then by all means, just, return it so you don't have to pay that. But, just know that it can, really foul up your whole, operation with using a third-party gateway. So, I definitely, wanted to, get this video out there and explain this to you guys, about this. But, if you're not using a third-party gateway and you're done with the service, you're, not going to, stay with the T-Mobile 5G home internet or Verizon home internet, cellular home internet, internet or AT&T cellular home internet, then by all means, return the gateway, so you don't have to pay that price. But, for people that are using third-party gateways, this is definitely, something that you have to keep in mind, something that you can't, get away with, you can't, get rid of it, you can't give it back to them, you can't sell it, you just can't do that because it's going to foul up your whole operation with the IMEI number, making T-Mobile or, whoever you have, for cellular home internet, it's basically, making T-Mobile or, whoever you have for cellular home internet think that you're still using their gateway, even though you're not, even though, mine's basically sitting on my desk in my room, but they it can basically, it's basically spoofing it, like I said, to make them think that you're actually using their gateway, even though you're not. So that's, basically the thing, that you can't get rid of the gateway, because it's basically, it's basically still using that gateway's IMEI number, is basically what I'm saying, to make it look like, to them, that you're still using their equipment. So, you definitely can't get rid of, these gateways. So, that's basically the video. So, but anyway, yeah, guys, that's basically the video. Like I said, it is unfortunate, that you can't do that, but it's definitely, better, that you don't do that, that you don't give the gateway back to them, or you don't sell it, that way it doesn't foul up your operation, using a third-party gateway, because honestly, I would rather have a third-party gateway than one of these, gateways that T-Mobile has. I mean, they are improving some, like, for example, this white one right here actually allows antennas to be hooked up to it, external antennas like I actually have. I actually have a waveform 4x4 external antenna that I was actually able to connect to that, but it doesn't actually allow tower locking or band locking or VPN or anything like that, or network mode switching. None of these allow that. The only ones that actually allow that are third-party gateway / modems. The ones from, T-Mobile, the stock, home internet gateway, cellular home internet gateways are not going to allow those features, like band locking and tower locking and network mode switching, VPN, all that kind of stuff. But they are, becoming a little bit better, but, still, the stock ones are not anywhere near, as good as a third-party one. But, like I said, just keep your gateway, if you have a third-party gateway, if you have a third-party cellular home internet gateway, just keep that gateway, keep the stock one, just keep it somewhere safe, throw it around somewhere, as long as you know where it's at, just keep it in your room or something, like on a desk or, in a drawer or something like that, or wherever you keep your, equipment, like your stuff for your, internet and stuff like that, just keep it around, just make sure, that you don't get rid of it, make sure nothing happens to it, make sure that you always have it around somewhere, where it's at, definitely, like I said, don't give it back to T-Mobile, unless you actually have to, unless you can't afford that $100, payment, which, they would charge you, but, like I said, if you can afford that, it's definitely worth it, to be able to keep it, so you can use your third-party gateway, while they still think that you're actually using their equipment, even though you're not, and, not only that, like I said, also, definitely make sure that you don't sell it either, because it's basically useless, it's basically useless, because the IMEI is not going to be able to be used, since it's actually being, used, revised, and spoofed and actually used in your third-party gateway, so, it's no use to anybody, it's no use to T-Mobile, and it's no use to, anybody else that you would actually sell it to, like I said, the only thing that it would actually do is, if you gave it back to T-Mobile or you sold it to somebody, the worst, case scenario would be, that you would actually lose your cell connection, on your third-party gateway, so you definitely don't want that happening. But anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, just wanted to get this video out there. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, guys.